G'day fellas and welcome back to another build tutorial. In this video I'll be showing you how to create this massive survival base with absolutely everything you need in survival, from a nether portal and indoor farms to enchanting and all the storage you could ever need. Now I actually intended for this build to be a library, but I decided to let you guys vote on if I should instead change it to a survival base, and the results were really close. So I decided that I would create another video after this one with the same exterior but with an alternate library interior instead. If you want to build the library version, still follow along with this video and just stop once I start on the survival base interior. Also, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss the video for the library interior, which is coming out in a few days from now. Before we get started on the tutorial, I'll do a quick tour of the interior so you can be sure this is something you want to build, as it's quite a big investment of time and resources. Coming through the front door, we first have our quick access area. This area has a little bit of storage, crafting blocks and also furnaces, and our bed. And this is just an area so we can quickly come in through the front door and sleep and do what we need to do and get straight back out. Now heading to the left, we have the main storage and also the main crafting area as well. And then back over here, we have our first little secret area, which is in this corner right here. You come stand right here, open up this trapdoor, and we have our first secret chest with our secret items inside. Now coming back over to the other side, we have our smelting area with furnaces and a little bit of extra storage. And then we have our enchanting area here as well, which of course reaches a full level 30. Next, heading up the stairs, we come up to the brewing area over here, which has a small little nether wart farm as well. More storage for all of your brewing materials. And then coming over to this side, we have our two little indoor farms. Now heading up to the third floor, we have our nether portal room. And this portal is actually toggleable just because the sound gets pretty annoying. And this room is also pretty cool as it has like two different sides. It's got a red theme side and then the blue theme side. And it also has our second secret area, which is just under here. You have to crouch under the stair and then right click that trapdoor to get in through here. And this is our main secret area as it has a lot more room for storage and stuff like that. Now heading up to the final floor, we just have some extra storage and just a little bit of smelting and crafting up here as well. Also a side note is any of these trapdoors here, they all open up to be like a window. As you can see down here, if you open up this, you can kind of open it to be like a window. You could also replace this with glass panes if you wanted to. But yeah, so that's pretty much everything of the interior. And if you're happy with that, be sure to follow along with the rest of the video. And we'll get started on the tutorial right now. To start off, find a nice big flat area and begin by placing the outline of all of the pillars. Next, raise up all of the pillars of the first layer to the specified height and make sure to also add these little sticking out bits on every single one. Now, when they're all at the specified height, just connect them all up at the top. Next, let's start on raising up the second layer of the pillars. So first add this corner pillar, and then we're going to have to build some scaffolding out into the center of this area here, and add this pillar in, and it's going to be floating. And that's because our roof is going to be connected up to it. Now just destroy that scaffolding and begin raising up the rest of the pillars, making sure on the opposite side to do the exact same thing with that pillar we did on this side as well. Next, it's onto the third layer of pillars, and this time we're going to do a similar thing we did to the first floor, in that we're going to have these floating pillars on the sides here. This time we actually have two floating pillars on each side, and then just begin raising up the rest of the pillars, and be sure to repeat that on the other side as well with those floating pillars. Now for the final layer of pillars, which is at the very top of the roof, we're just going to add these 4 2-block high pillars that are on the front and back side. Now it's time to get started on the front wall design. All of these walls are inset by 1 block and also using stone. For the front door, we're going to do an outline of stone with a stone brick stair that's upside down and also the door just below that. Next, onto the main wall design that's repeated pretty much throughout the entire build. It's just 2 columns of stone with a stone brick stair at the top and bottom in between those, and then the final 2 blocks are just 2 spruce trapdoors. And now just repeat that same wall design across every wall on the very first layer. Once those walls are all done, we can start adding in the details. So in every single one, we're going to add this little arch design here. Then we're going to connect these two sticking out pillar bits with 2 spruce fence gates and then 1 spruce fence with a lantern attached to that fence. And then finally just add some buttons onto all of those exposed wood faces as well. And then just go ahead and repeat this across the entire first layer again. Now for the final pass around all of the walls, we're going to add in azalea bushes underneath that first stair block, alternating between flowering and not flowering, and we're also going to add in a bunch of grass as well. And now I'm just going to quickly fly around and show you the very first layer of walls and how it should look. Next, it's time to get your scaffolding out and move up to the second layer of walls. Now this is exactly the same as the bottom floor, except for this area with the floating pillar. The 2 walls connected to the floating pillar do not have the stone brick stair or any spruce trapdoors because the roof that we'll be building later is going to be blocking those up anyway. And then just go ahead and repeat this same design across the entire second layer of the walls. Here's another final flyover of the second layer just to make sure you got everything right. Next, let's head up again to the third floor and of course add in that same wall design once again. And similar to the floor below, we have this area that's going to be covered up by the roof anyway, so just add in only stone on the sides here, just like how I've done. And again, another flyover just to make sure you got everything right. Now head up to the very final floor, and this is the area for the main roof, so all we need to do is just place in some stone like this. And this layer is also not inset, this is in line with the pillar blocks, so make sure to do that. Also add in this stone brick block above here with a lantern on, just so we don't have to worry about it when we're doing the roof. And then add in these final stone blocks here, which are just to cover up the exposed area when we build the roof. And of course, repeat this exact same design on the opposite side as well. Next, it's time to start on the roof design. Now, since we're already at the top, we're going to start with the very top roof. And this roof is very simple. It's just a slab setup, alternating between slabs and full blocks. And now to fill in the main roof, we're just going to extend that same shape of the trim into the main roof. And on the areas where there's full blocks, we're going to be using stripped spruce logs. And then on the slab spots, we're just going to be using spruce slabs. And then finally on the opposite side, just repeat that same trim design as well. Next, it's time to head down to the second layer to add in the first side roof. Now this roof design does have a similar design to the top one, but it is different. It's just extended out by 2 blocks. And then once that trim design is complete, just extend that same shape into the main roof. Again, using the full blocks as stripped spruce wood, and then use spruce slabs on the slab sections. Once you've done that left side, just mirror this on the opposite side as well. And then to finish up these side roofs, you see we have these gaps here, and you just need to fill these in with stone blocks. Now finally onto the bottom roofs, and these have the exact same design as the top roof except just in a smaller area, and it's also doubled. Instead of one giant roof, it is just two smaller versions of it. And again, just extend that shape of the trim into the entire roof until it meets up with the stone wall. And to finish off these bottom roofs, just fill in these gaps with stone blocks. Now to finish off the exterior, we're just going to add in this little pathway here. It's just a simple circular design. And then just texture that with andesite and gravel as well. You don't have to do this, but it just makes it look more weathered. Now we're going to add this little fountain design, which is just two andesite walls surrounded by upside down stone brick stairs. Add pressure plates on top of those stairs. Then add a little lantern on top, and then fill the two andesite walls with water. Then just add a bunch of these flowers around. It doesn't really matter what order you do them in, just as long as there's some good coverage. And now with that done, the exterior is now finally completed. Now just a note, if you are wanting to build the library version of the interior, keep following along, as all of the interior up to a certain point of when I say is still needed across both versions. Now to start off the interior, simply just fill in all of these gaps between all of the walls with stripped spruce logs. I'm doing this while flying as it would just take way too long for the recording with scaffolding, but you're going to have to do it with scaffolding and it's probably going to take a little while. And you'll also have to chop down a lot of trees. Next, onto the floor design. All we have to do is connect up the areas where the pillars meet on the floor with stripped spruce logs. Once those have all been placed in, on the area where the front door is, just place in some stone and then fill in the rest of the grass blocks with spruce planks. Next, add in the first ceiling, which is the same design as the floor, except using spruce slabs instead of spruce planks. Okay, so I'm going to be doing the rest of the interior in first person, as I feel like it's easier to follow. So the next part we'll be making is the stairs, which is the same across both versions of the interior, along with a few more things like the ceiling for the second and third floors. So to start off the stairs, what we're going to do is come over to this section right here, and in between these two walls we're going to place a pillar like so, and do the same thing on the other side as well. And then just place some stairs like this, on each side like that. And now we're going to start with the actual stairs. So firstly, we're going to add 2 stair blocks right next to this pillar. And on the back of these stairs, just place some upside down stairs, and we're going to repeat this 2 more times. Okay, so now that we're up to here, we're going to fill in the rest with spruce planks. And now we're just going to extend these stairs up to the middle here. And now that this has touched the top here, we're going to fill in this area here with planks. And now just repeat this same thing on the other side. Now when your stairs are finished, they should look exactly like this. And now that this is done, we're going to move on to the second floor. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is just fill in this little patch here. Just extend the wall down like that, and repeat this on the other side as well. Now that that's done, we're just going to repeat the same ceiling pattern below, and put that above as well. So just extend these pillars across like this, on each of these cross points here, and then just fill the gaps in with spruce slabs. Okay, and now that the roof is all filled in like this, next we're going to grab spruce stairs and place them in all of these corners like so. Now that all these stairs are placed in, we're going to repeat the same pillar design above up here. And also fill in this spot and this spot with some more spruce stairs. And then just repeat this on the other side as well. Also add in some trapdoors right here, which is like just a little extra walkway for up here. Do the same thing on the other side as well, of course. And then the last thing for now up here is we're just going to add a ladder on here. Make sure to hold shift while placing on this trapdoor, or else it's not going to work. And now with this ladder placed, we're going to move on to the next floor. To start off this next floor, we're going to extend this wall down to the bottom like this, like we did with the previous floor. Now with that done, just repeat the same ceiling design as the previous 2 floors as well. Now with that all done, we're done with this floor, so now let's extend this ladder up to the final floor. So now with this final floor, we have a few extra details to add in. Firstly, we're going to extend this wall down to the bottom like this, just using stripped spruce logs. Now with that done, we're going to add a pillar here and here. Then also add in a small little curve just like this, and on the other side we're going to do this but on the top and the bottom, and then just fill in these gaps with trapdoors. So now that the exterior and this section of the interior is done, it's time to choose which interior you'll be building. I'll be building the survival base version first, and the library version of the interior will be coming out in 4 days from now, so feel free to check the description or the pinned comment. Alright, so if you're wanting to make the survival base version first, we're going to start off with this quick little access area underneath the stairs. So to start off, we're going to place some stripped spruce wood in these corners here, just like this. We're going to destroy this first stair block as well. So now we have this. Now we're going to extend the stairs out to here, and do the same on the other side as well, and then cap it off with a trapdoor. Next, we're going to place some stairs here, and then we're going to put some bookshelves in between those, and then another stripped spruce wood right there. Next, we're going to build a little shelf, and we're going to place this right here, just like that. And then we're also going to add in a lantern right here. Just place another slab below this, and then we're going to put a lantern on there. Alright, now we're going to fill in these spots with the blocks that we need. So it goes in this order. Firstly, a grindstone on the end right here, in this orientation, just because it looks best. And then a smithing table, and then a crafting table. Next, place some chests right here. And then on this side, we're going to add a furnace, a blast furnace, and a stone cutter. Next, we're going to put some barrels up along here. Just destroy this stair block here, and it gives us a little extra storage. Then place down a bed right here. Place some cyan carpets just around it like this. Place your lantern on right here, and also add a flower pot with a spruce sapling in it right there. And that's your quick access little area done. And this area is just so you can quickly come in through the front door and just access things that you need real quick, or sleep and go straight back out. So now that this area is done, we're going to move on to the left in this little section right here, which is going to be the main crafting area. So to start off, we're going to place 2 little shelves on either side just like this. And then above here, we're going to add in some barrels all the way across and fill in this little gap with some spruce slabs as well. Next, we're going to add in our crafting blocks. So firstly, we're going to do a grindstone, which is in this orientation again. Then a smithing table, crafting table, a loom, and then a stone cutter. And on top of the crafting table, we're going to add 2 anvils just like that. And then on either side of the anvils, we're going to place a pot with a spruce sapling. And then 3 candles. It doesn't really matter how many you do, but just some candles like that, just for some nice decoration. Then just some little extra decorations on these 2 windows here. On this side, we're going to add in a lectern with a book and quill in it, just because it looks a bit nicer. Hold shift and place some signs on the side of that. Then on this side, we're going to place some upside down spruce stairs, place a flower pot on that, and also put in an azalea. And then to finish it all off, we're going to add a lantern in right here. Next, we're going to move on to the main storage area, which is in this side right here. To line this up, we're going to look at this lectern, and then we're going to go to the pillar beside it, and then one more to the right. We're going to start placing our barrels going up like this, and then we're going to extend this all the way up the top to the very corner and bring this down to the bottom like that. Next, we're going to make a shelf that just kind of supports these barrels up here. Place a stair block in this corner and another one in the other corner, and then connect them up using spruce slabs. Now we're just going to fill in the rest of this area here with double chests. Make sure you place them like this, or else they're not going to connect up properly. Now that our storage is all done here, we're going to place a spruce stair block right here, then place a lantern that's 1 block away from that, and then place another lantern that is aligned with the 4th barrel at the top here. It doesn't really matter how perfectly aligned these are, but yeah. Next, onto this little section right here, we're going to add in a little table just like this. We're going to place a pot on this side with an azalea in it. On this middle part, we're going to place some candles just like that. And then on this one, we're going to put a button. Now on this side, we're going to fill in this whole area here with trapdoors. Once you've placed these all in, just start closing them all up. And then this is also where our first secret area is going to be. So what we're going to do is remove this corner block right here, place another block behind it, just so that we can place the trapdoor like this, so it opens that way instead. Now remove that block behind, come into this corner and close this trapdoor. And then this is how you're going to get into the area. But to get out, what you're going to do is place another trapdoor like that. And that way you can go into the prone position again from inside here. And then inside here, there isn't too much room, so we're just going to put in 1 chest, and you have a bunch of room here to store a bunch of items and stuff. Alright, so now this side is all done. We're going to move back to the front here, and we're going to add in our front decorations that go right here and right here. So firstly, grab some composters, and we're going to put them on either side of each window just like this. And then in between both of these, we're going to place a spruce slab. And then above all of these composters, we're going to put 2 leaf blocks like this. Now, if you want your leaves to look like this, I'm actually using a resource pack that makes them look this way, so check the description for that. And next, we're going to place a spruce slab just on the ceiling here, and also place a lantern on it like that. Also do this on the other side. And now to finish off the front wall, we're going to place some armor stands on each of these blocks here, and then just put in whatever armor of choice that you choose. I'm going with iron and also gold, just like that. And now our front wall is all done. Time to move on to the other side of the house. So firstly, we're going to start off with the enchanting area, which is in this section right here. And we're going to do that by adding some bookshelves in these corners all the way to the ceiling. And then in between this, we're going to add sort of an O shape with bookshelves. And we're also going to do the same on the sides as well, just like this. Then just add 2 extra bookshelves on these areas right here. And in between here, we're going to put some barrels just like this. And then we're going to cap off the ends like this by placing some spruce stairs here. And also in between these, place some spruce trapdoors like this. Next, it's getting a bit dark, so let's add in our lantern. And we're going to put this right in the center there. And then below this, we're going to place our enchanting table as well. After that, let's place in some details. We got an amethyst cluster in this side, a couple of purple candles here, and then a flower pot with a cornflower in it right here. And then to finish off this area, we're going to place some spruce slabs up along here, just so there isn't this weird looking gap here. And now that's the enchanting area all done. Now it's time to move on to this side. Okay, so starting the furnace area, we're going to place some normal furnaces down here, just 3 from the corner. And then the next 3 are going to be blast furnaces, and then the final 3 are going to be smokers, just like that. Next, we're going to add a shelf above this. So we're going to alternate between stairs and slabs, just like this. So there's our final shelf. We're going to fill this shelf in with barrels and also chests. So it's going to be barrels on the 2 edges, and then also in the middle, and then some chests just like this. Next, we're going to add in all the little details above the furnaces here. So in the first corner, we're going to put a spruce sapling inside of a pot. Next, we're going to do a campfire. May as well put this one on that side. And then we're going to put a button next to that. Then next to this, we're going to place a lantern, then another campfire, then an azalea in a flower pot. Then we're going to give a space, and then another campfire, and finally another button right here. It is a lot of details, so feel free to leave some out if you want, but it just kind of brings this to life above the furnaces here. And then to finish off this section right here, we're going to place in some more lanterns. So same as the other side, 2 spaces away from here. And then you can just line up yourself with this lantern that's all the way down there and place it right there. Okay, now to finish off this area, we're going to place a little table here and also fill in this, but we'll get to that. So firstly, for the table, we're going to do 2 stair blocks just like this, and then in between them place a lectern with a book in it. And then on this left side, we're going to add just a couple of candles in there. And now this little table is done. So now we can move on to these trapdoors here, just the same as the other side, just stack them up like this. Now you could add another secret area here if you want to, but I figured that if that one was compromised, then people are going to go check over this side, so it's kind of no point. And then lastly, for this area, we're just going to place in another stair block right here. Now that's everything for downstairs completed, so next let's move up to the second floor. So firstly, we're going to head over to the left side, and we're going to start by building the brewing area. First, let's add in the brewing table itself. So place some upside down stairs in the corner here, and then leave a gap and place another 2 just like this, making sure this one's on an angle. Now do the same thing on the other side, but on this block here, we're just going to temporarily put a full block of spruce, just like that. Add in a spruce trapdoor right here, and then we're going to place our water bucket, but we're going to place it against this block like that, just so that the water doesn't get actually placed inside here and then it leaks out everywhere. So now that our water's done, let's quickly add in our stair block just like that. Next, we're going to move on to the shelf above. Firstly, place an upside down stair block like this, and we're going to alternate between upside down stair blocks and slab blocks in between those, just like that. Next, we're going to place some barrels in these positions here, just like that. In the middle of these 2, add in a crafting table, and in the middle of these 2, add in a chest. Next, let's add in all the details on the bottom row. So in between these gaps, we're going to put cauldrons just like this, and then also put a sign on the front of each of those, and fill them up with water as well. Next, let's place in some brewing stands in all of these blank spaces here, and then also add a tripwire hook above each of these cauldrons and also the water here. And it just looks like a little tap. It's a cool little decoration. Next, we're going to place some lanterns 1 space away from the stair block here on each side, just like that. And now we're going to add in our little nether wart farms. So place 3 soul sand blocks just like this, and do this on the other side as well. Now we're going to kind of cover all of these up with trapdoors just like this, so it looks like it's contained. Now that that's all done, we're going to place in nether wart on the top of each of these soul sands blocks just like that. Then just grab a spruce slab block and place it on each side just like this. Add a chain below that, and also a lantern hanging off of that as well. And there we go, that's the brewing area completed. Next, let's move on to the front wall here. Alright, so for the front, it's pretty similar to downstairs. We're going to repeat this same design on each side, but instead of the slab, we're going to put a lectern. So let's place all of the composters down just like this. Place the oak leaves above them like that. Add your lecterns in between them, and also place a book on them, just because it looks really nice. Then let's add our lanterns in. These are also the same 1 block away from the upside down stair there, and do the same on this side too. And now lastly for this floor, let's move on to the right hand side, which is the farming area. So to start off, let's place 3 blocks of farmland just like this, and place your water block in there, just so that these don't turn back to dirt. But you'll be placing probably dirt anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So next, let's bring these out 2 wide, and then all the way down to the end here. So 1 block short of these pillars, and then also just do the same thing on the other side as well. Next, we're going to put in some stair blocks on these 2 positions right here, leaving a gap of 2 in the middle. Do the same on the other side as well. Then in the middle, we're going to put a composter and also a barrel, and then do the same thing on the other side, of course. And next, all of these exposed dirt faces, we're going to put a trapdoor on, just like this. And before we can plant our crops, because it's too dark here, we need to add in our lanterns, just like that. And then we can go ahead and plant whatever crop we want. I'm using carrots and also wheat seeds on the other side. And then in this spot here, we're going to add in a little shelf just like this. Place some barrels along the top row, and then on the bottom, just add some chests like that. Now with that done, we're now done with the second floor. So now it's time to move on to the third floor. So this third floor is for the portal. So what we're going to do is add in the portal itself. Now this portal is 3 wide and it actually goes into the roof. So we're going to have to remove that little area of roof there. So that's the shape of the portal there. Next, what we're going to do is bring this wall out by 1. And do the same on the other side as well, of course. And then in front of this obsidian here, we're going to place in some stripped spruce wood. Also do the same along the top and the bottom as well. Next, we're going to also extend this top pillar out to this side. And then we can add some stairs just like this. Add in some spruce fences and a spruce fence gate. You'll see why we have to do this in a second. So next, we're going to make a little mechanism to turn on and off the actual portal itself, because the sound can get pretty annoying, as this is inside your base and you can hear it all the time. So it's nice having a way to turn it off. So to set up the mechanism to turn off the portal, what we're going to do is go inside and place 2 dispensers in each top corners like this. In this side, we're going to add a flint and steel, and on this side, we're going to put in a water bucket. And then on the dispenser with the flint and steel, we're going to put a button, and then on the other one, place a lever. Now, in between these, just add a spruce slab. And now to turn the portal on and off, you just press the button on here, which ignites the portal. And then you have to flick this lever 4 times in quick succession, which places a water bucket in front of it and turns it off. And there you go, there's our toggleable portal. And now it's time to add in all of the details. So to start off, let's go onto the left side, and we're going to place some crimson nylium on the bottom here, and then a shelf just above it like this. On the shelf, place some candles like this. Ignite them as well, just because it looks really cool. And then below that, place some crimson roots and also crimson fungus. And then on these open faces here, place some trapdoors like that. Now on the other side, it's the exact same thing, but except we're going to be using the blue theme. So place in some warped nylium just like this. Cover those faces with trapdoors, add in your little shelf with the candles as well. Light those candles up, and then we're going to place some twisting vines and also warped roots just below those right there. Next, let's go back to the left side, which is the red side, and add some stairs just like this. We may as well do this on the other side while we're at it. And now we're going to add in a little shelf. Now this is raised up by 1 block, and you'll see why in just a second. So place 3 stair blocks like this, and in between them place some spruce slabs. Underneath these stair blocks, place some spruce trapdoors. And then on top of this, we're going to place a barrel, a chest, and then a gap, and then another chest and a barrel. On this gap, we're going to be adding a armor stand, but we'll get to that in a second. Now on top of each of these barrels, place some pots. And on the first one, put in a crimson fungus, and on the other one, put in crimson roots. Now add in a lantern right here, and then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So again, just add in your shelf like this. Place your trapdoors underneath there, add in the barrels and the chests, flower pots, but this time we're going to go with a warped fungus and also warped roots, and place your lantern on too. Now on each side in these gaps, we're going to add an armor stand, and then I like to add armor that's actually from the nether, so we're going to do gold on this side and then netherite on this side. Which I realize this is a bit expensive, but I mean, you could just do gold on each side, it doesn't really matter. And now we're going to add in our next secret area, which is underneath this stair block right here in this trapdoor. So what we're going to do is remove this stone block. Then to get in here, you have to hold shift and then open this trapdoor like that. And that lets us get into this side. So we're going to add a trapdoor on this side as well. So do that by placing a stair block or whatever block here, and then place your trapdoor on there. And that lets us go back out as well. So on either side of this trapdoor, place some stair blocks, and we're going to put some candles on these as well. Light them up. And then in all of these gaps here, we're going to be putting some chests. So this is like the main secret storage area, because we've got a lot of space here to work with. And then under here, we're going to add just pretty much all barrels. Just like that. And then in the middle, place in a crafting table as well. And now that's our little secret area done, so we can go back out. And now we can go to the final floor. Now this final floor is thankfully very simple. So let's start off by placing in some chests along the sides here. And we're going to leave 1 block gap in between each of them as well. So now in between these gaps here, we're going to place some barrels. And then in the middle one, we're going to add a crafting table and a furnace above it. And then just repeat this on the other side as well. Now let's add our lantern in the center, and you can do that by aligning yourself with the crafting table and furnace here. Come to the center and add your lantern on right there. Next we're going to add in the carpet, which is cyan and also light blue carpet. So the strip in the center is light blue. and that goes all the way to the end here, and that's to cover up the obsidian below. And then on the sides we're going to place the cyan carpet just like this. Now I know it's actually messed up a little bit. You don't need these corner blocks here on the portals. We're just going to replace them with some stripped spruce logs. Now in the back here we're going to add a little table. So do that by placing 2 spruce stair blocks like this with a spruce slab in the middle. Add some candles on this side, and then on this side we're going to add a flower pot with a spruce sapling. And with that, the survival base version of the interior is now complete. In a few days from now, I'll be releasing the library version of the interior if you wanted to build that instead, as I actually intended for this build to be a library, but I made a poll for if I should change it to a survival base instead, and the votes were almost tied. So I just decided to create both for you guys. So be sure to subscribe if you want to get notified of when that video comes out. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, be sure to leave a like as it helps this video reach more people who might want to build it too. Cheers for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.